Players, welcome. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Sports Plus Life podcast, episode number 46. The Andy Pettit episode of the Sports Plus Life podcast. If you guys don't remember Andy Pettit, there's only cool 46 I could find. 46 will be the next president. If we, whoever the next new president is, will be number 46. That's all I can think of. That's all I got today. It's rainy. It's gloomy. Rain, go away, come back another day. But I mean, I'll take rain over, like, I don't know, raining scorpions or some shit. The way this fucking year is going, we're gonna start raining scorpions or some shit, or something like that. What is this? Hold on, real quick. I'm looking at something. Hold on, real quick, guys. Search for number 40. Jordan Chose half. 40 what? Okay, anyways. Welcome guys to the Sports Plus Life podcast again. We have let's see, on deck for today, definitely UFC fight night last night. Smith versus Teixeira created a lot of bangers for us last night. I was very pleased with the fight. There's one fight I actually fell asleep watching it. It was a heavyweight fight between Andrei Arlovski and then I can't remember the guy's name. But I mean, it was a great card. It was actually a pretty good card. I definitely want to get started with the main event. Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira. Exceeded my expectation. I did not think it was going to go the way it did. And it was still a good fight. Very controversial in the sense that it went on longer than it should have. Anthony Smith, who was just tough as nails, probably is too tough for his own good. And I know exactly what he's talking about. I've been there before. People have told me the exact same things. You're just too tough for your own good. I mean, I'm not a fighter by any means, but I have a high threshold of pain for some reason. I was told that when I was in the hospital like 4 years back. They're like, this doesn't hurt you? I go, no, I'd rather do this and take the drugs and blah, 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 whatever. Anthony Smith got, I think last night, started the fight out pretty good. Was landing some pretty good shots. Glover Teixeira was doing a good job moving his head. First round, second round, Anthony Smith started kind of fading away. And Glover Teixeira started, gaining ground. The third round is when it got bad. Third round, Anthony Smith was still fighting. He was still in the fight. He got dropped. He got hurt. And then the fourth round was way, way worse. The third and the fourth round were 10-8 rounds. For those of you who do not know, a 10-8 round means you got completely dominated and fight was very one-sided. They gave the other guy an extra point. They score off of 10 points. Both fighters go in with 10 points each. Whoever loses the round gets a point taken away, so it's 10-9 for the winner. He lost pretty bad, so it was 10-8, 2 rounds in a row, which really you don't see, which, I mean, you've seen before, but not a whole lot. Now, the fifth round ended up getting stopped in the fifth round. Now, pretty close to the fight being over. In the fifth round, or just kind of the fight being, time running out in the fifth round. But if I'm not mistaken, let me double check here because I need to pull it up here. Get the right time here and all that stuff for you. But the controversy lies in the fight probably should have been stopped a long time ago. Probably third round. Probably third round is what you're looking at. But there's, here's where the controversy is. And there's so many different parts to this. You have, obviously, the fighter that is in the cage. You have the coaching outside of the cage. You have the referee also inside of the cage. A bunch of different parts have to happen, if the referee doesn't want to stop the fight. So if the referee doesn't want to stop the fight, then it's up to the fighter, or it's up to the corner, or it's up to the fighter. That's pretty much the order it's going to be in. If the referee doesn't stop it, then the corner has to. If the corner doesn't stop it, the referee has to. If neither of them stop it, it has to be up to the fighter to tap, submit, or say, I can't continue. Or get knocked out. Get, brutally hurt. That's pretty much how it works out. Now, in this case, Anthony Smith did enough in the referee's eyes to continue the fight. And he was. He's tough as nails, man. He got hit very, very hard. He got dropped second, third round. I think in the second round got dropped pretty good. I thought Glover Teixeira was going to end the fight. For some reason, Glover, every time he hurt him standing up, and it's probably one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm not a fighter by any means. Just from watching what I've seen in the past, the fight probably could have been over a long time ago. And you see this a lot, and most notably, I see it not too long ago against Kelvin Gastelum versus Israel Adesanya. Kevin Gastelum had Israel Adesanya rocks him, but his wrestling kicks in and wants to take him down and beat him up on the ground, which that's not what was getting you the win. That's not what was winning you the fight. You were standing up on the feet. In this case, Glover Teixeira is doing the same exact thing. Glover Teixeira dropped Smith and wanted to follow him to the ground, and then try to finish it. But Anthony Smith was doing everything you needed to do to stay active, still defending, was moving around, trying to get himself out of the bad positions. And to the referee, Jason Herzog in this case, one of the top referees in the country, in the world, he was doing enough. He was doing what he was supposed to. Kept yelling, I need to see more. I need you to get out of here. I need you to get out of there. Like I said, I was watching it. He was doing enough to get out of the positions. Lasted 4 rounds, and in the fifth is when they ended up stopping it. Now, it's kind of tricky on who to put the blame on, but I don't think you put the blame on the referee. The referee can only use his eyes and his words. Ask the fighter if he's okay. The fighter's talking to him. The fighter's defending. The fighter's moving out, trying to get out of position and improve his position. Referee can only do so much. The referee, like I said, in the pecking order, if the referee doesn't see enough to stop the fight, you probably have to look at the corner. Now, we are in a state where there's no fans. So there's no drowning out the corners. The corners are live. You can hear everything. The fighters can hear the corners. Both corners can hear both corners. And I want to say, I'm going to go out there and say that Anthony Smith's corner failed him. Because sometimes, and I know these type of fighters, especially someone like Anthony Smith, are going to die on the shield. They're going to go out there and die. Which he damn near did. He got his orbital bone broken, got his nose broken, something else broken, and he was just beat up. His teeth were falling out in the middle of the fight. I think third or fourth round. He's like handing something to the ref, which I thought it was his mouthpiece, but really it was his tooth. Handing his tooth over to the referee. Referee calmly, he has gloves. And he goes, yeah, I got you. And gives it to the corner in between rounds. And I think it was a fourth round, maybe third or fourth. I can't remember. But right after the fourth round, he goes, my teeth are falling out, to his corner. Anthony Smith was coherent. He was still there. He was answering all the questions. But there has to be that visual that in the back of your mind that nothing is going to, there's no way he's going to be able to win this fight. And you have to save face, come back, fight another day, so to speak. And, I don't think it ended well. I don't think. I mean, you can't blame Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is doing his job. He's doing what he's supposed to do. James Krause, who is a lifer here, Sports Plus lifer, he's going to be awarded a lifer for his gutsy performance not that long ago, stepping in on a 48 or 24-hour notice for a fight. You know, they didn't think once to stop the fight. Now, as a fighter, I get it. As a fighter and a family man, I don't know. I don't know. I think his corner failed him. I thought his corner game wasn't good in between rounds in general. I don't know who the head coach is, the head corner man, but I kept looking everything right away. Anthony Smith isn't there. His first thing to Anthony Smith is, "Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me. Hey, look at me." Every time. Anthony Smith isn't looking at you. The guy can't fucking see you. There's something wrong there if he's taking so long to respond to you. I thought his corner failed him. I think he needs to look for a different cornerman. I know the guy wants to stay home in Omaha. Can't be away from his family, but you want to continue to be in this fight at the top of your game, you're going to have to switch camps. I get it, man. You want to be a family member. You want to stay within Omaha, travel to Denver, go Omaha on the weekends. There has to be a certain commitment. Someone like Tyson Fury, we talked about here on the Sports Plus Life podcast before. Tyson Fury had that fight with Deontay Wilder, which I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but had was it a draw the first one? Yeah, I think it was a draw the first one. Knew that he was missing something. Made the change dropped his old trainer and made the change to the Kronk Gym in Detroit. Ended up finishing Deontay Wilder in the 7th round. Those are the type of changes champions are willing to make. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, something's broke, you gotta fix it. Just like Justin Gaethje said, it took me to lose 2 times to fix something. Now the guy's an interim champion, lightweight interim champion. Got to feel for Smith, man. Smith is a tough dude. He got his ass beat, plain and simple. They even had a dialogue. Glover was on top of him, punching him, and they're saying, "I'm sorry, buddy. It's just part of the business." And Anthony Smith replies, "Yeah, it is what it is." It's so. I think it just sucks. Anthony Smith's probably a good guy. Tough. He's just tough as nails. Probably too tough for his own good. His corner failed him. Just like in that Deontay Wilder fight, his corner called that fight. Not the referee, not Deontay Wilder. His corner had to. They felt he was in danger. And I thought so too. There wasn't an ounce of, in Anthony Smith's corner. No one in that corner was like, I think he's in trouble. Like, there wasn't no rumblings. They didn't hear that rumbling. It was just, balls to the wall, jab, do this, instruction, then instructions in between rounds. Whereas it was a contrast between coaching. And I've said this before because I said this last podcast, I believe. It takes a village. John Hackleman, we've met before, pretty cool guy. Head trainer, coach. He was a coach, but Chuck Liddell. If you guys remember Chuck Liddell, Hall of Famer, legend, Chuck Liddell, Mohawk, tattoo on the side. It was definitely different coaching. You could tell. They were prepared for the fight. Glover's team was prepared for the fight. They had all the instructions already ahead of time. Very, very minimal instructions during the fight. And when they needed to, they adjusted on the fly. But it's a trust, it's a trust in between your fighters. And I think something has to do with James Krause still being a fighter himself. I know some fighters have different training methods, have different coaching methods, or have different preferences on what your coach wants to do. So it all depends, really. I mean, there's a synergy, a chemistry between the fighter and the team, and I think it showed because that showed Smith's commitment, I guess, to one camp because he trained from Omaha, drives to Denver, went back and forth. People had to come to him, jiu-jitsu coaches, stuff like that. And I think in the end it failed him. Too many different chirps from different corners of the fight, or just in general, getting too much information from different Arab people, harmed him and probably took years off his life. And because at the end of the day, you want to be around your family, but how long are you going to have around your family with stuff like this going on? And the reason I bring up his family because he did say in the little the pre-fight vignettes they have, the little interviews, he's like, I'm doing this because I can't be away from my family and stuff like that. But it hurt. He got hurt very, very bad, and he paid for it. Glover Teixeira did what I thought Glover Teixeira was going to lose this fight early in the second round. The first round he got tagged pretty good. Second round, that's when it started turning around for Glover Teixeira, and Glover did his thing, man. He's 40, still out there banging, on a 4-fight win streak. I don't know who's next for the guy. 205 pounds. Maybe, I don't know, you might even see him fight someone like Dominic Reyes. That might be because there's rumblings, and just recently, today, John Jones is saying, hey, I wouldn't mind fighting Francis Ngannou. Slowly creeping up to that fight in middleweight, maybe a championship fight in middleweight. We'll see. We'll see where this goes, but maybe Dominic Reyes might be up next for someone like Glover Teixeira. Putting that rematch, Dominic Reyes, John Jones, on the back burner. Maybe someone like Thiago Santos coming back. So who knows? Glover Teixeira's on a 4-fight win streak. He wants to get that strap, and he's looking pretty good doing it. Getting the finishes, just still fighting very well at 40. But these 40-somethings, man. Alexei Olenek, not that long ago, banging. These guys, man, I know it's in the water, but give me some. Give me some of that non-coronavirus COVID-19 water. But props, man. Props to Anthony Smith for just being tough as shit. Hanging in there. Took your ass beating, and it is what it is. You're right. It is what it is. Hopefully he'll be okay. Crazy. He was losing his teeth. Something he had veneers, and so Ariel Helwani, Ariel Helwani is one of the top MMA journalists on ESPN. Put out saying spoke to Anthony via text or whatever, and he said those are his real teeth, but then his corner came out and said he has veneers. So he lost a couple teeth, some in the back, one in the front, something like that. So I don't know who to believe here, but he still got some teeth knocked out of him. Last time I saw a veneer fly out of someone's mouth is when I think I want to say Diego Sanchez dropped Karo Parisian. Was it? Hold on real quick. I'm going to look that up because I want to say that fight. Let me take a look here. Because I remember he was like, oh, it was a veneer. I wonder what that fool's doing. Karo Parisian. Haven't heard that name forever. Damn, when was the last time he fought? 3 years ago. He got dropped by Jose Diaz. Then he retired. Rightfully so. Was it Thiago Alves? That one. What's Diego Sanchez? Maybe in Diego Sanchez. Is Diego Sanchez or Thiago Alves? One of those two. He got dropped. I want to say it was Thiago Santos. Thiago Alves, which is here in Broomfield. I was there at those fights. I just don't remember. I think it was that one. But yeah. Crazy fight. Great main event. Great card because the fight before that was Ben Rothwell versus Over St. Peru. Over St. Peru move up to heavyweight. Little lackluster for OSP. OSP definitely belongs at heavyweight. I think he's a big boy. I think he did all right. I mean, it was very boring though the way he was fighting. He definitely fought like someone who's never fought a heavyweight before. Did a lot of running too. Didn't want to get hit by Ben Rothwell. I don't know too many people who do. Didn't really want to test the waters either. Landed a couple of good shots. I think he even dropped Ben Rothwell with a kick. But it was other than that, man, it wasn't that exciting. Ben Rothwell's an awkward dude, tough as nails, and keep coming forward. Ended up winning the fight by split decision. From Kenosha Pass. Is it Kenosha? Kenosha Pass, Wisconsin, I think is where he's from. Yeah, just decision fight, and it was just blah, 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 blah. It was just a little weird for OSP. Hopefully, I don't know what's going on. OSP's lost a lot of fights, so I don't know what the future holds for OSP in the UFC. Ben Rothwell's, man, I want to say Ben Rothwell has been on a winning streak, maybe. Let me take a look here. What is his stats? Let's see here. He beat Stefan Struve, lost to Arlovsky in a decision. I remember that one. Lost to Ivanov in decision as well. Yeah, so not really on a winning streak. He lost twice? No, it's the same fight. What the hell? Yeah, he's been actually on a losing streak, so he got the win. So he finally got his win. But yeah, it was just an awkward fight. Definitely wouldn't want to see that fight ever again. Now, the Drew Dober versus Alexander Hernandez. Great fight, man. Alex Hernandez, same thing, tough as nail, but Drew Dober is country strong. From Nebraska, lives in Denver, trains in Denver. And it shows, man. Great cardio. Has done, trains with Justin Gaethje, who just won the interim championship. Has done wonders, man. He's cleaned up his striking. So he's been out there for a minute. Drew Dober, I've seen him fight here locally around Colorado a couple times. Drew Dober he's thick, boy. Thick. That boy's thick. You see his legs? He's thick, boy. Knocked out Alexander Hernandez, round 2. Great fight. High pace, fast paced. Fast paced. Alex Hernandez had takedowns. He was doing his wrestling, but Drew Dober just proved to be tougher. And got the stoppage. I love this fight. Drew Dober, I don't know what's next for Drew Dober. This fight was at lightweight, 155 pounds. I don't know what's up next. He's definitely going to be ranked now. Was unranked before this fight. Will be ranked after this fight. So who knows what's next for him, man. That lightweight division is stacked, obviously. Justin Gaethje being the champion. You have a lot of fights there. A lot of fights. Let me fucking bring up the lightweight division here. I'm going to play matchmaker right now. I just can't believe I just said that. Right now. I sound like Medea. Right now. Lightweight. So I think in that one, if you were to put him anywhere, wouldn't mind seeing him against. He beat Alexander Hernandez. There's a Diego Ferreira fight. Maybe even Kevin Lee. Or Ali Quinta. Charlie Oliveira is another fight. Probably those fights right there is what I want to see. Good fights. Great testing. And he gets through them, you're definitely going to see him fight probably another top 5, top 10, another top 5 fighter. Looking at Paul Felder, Dan Hooker, those type of guys. That'll cause trouble. Let's say he does win out. Justin Gaethje wins. Wins the championship, this summer, supposedly when he's supposed to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov. The guys want to fight teammates, but who knows? That means different. That's old school, man. It's a new way of fighting. A bunch of teammates have fought each other before. Who knows? Sky's the limit for that guy, and he's moving up. Yeah, those are the three. I mean, there's a lot of good fights here. I did say Chase Sherman. The Chase Sherman versus Ike Villanueva. Is that what it was? His name's not Ike, but I call him Ike. Isaac Villanueva. Let me pull it up here. Gosh, I'm so unprepared. I apologize. It's a busy day, man. So this is what's happening right now. Right now, I just got off of work at 2. It's 2. I started recording probably about 2:30 maybe. I don't even know what it is now. 2:44 now. I'm done recording here. I'm going to upload, do all my things with the podcast, go get something to eat. 5 p.m., I'll probably get a couple rounds of Warzone in. Then 5 p.m., 5:15 p.m., I'll be on the Most Underrated podcast as a co-host. And then after that, I'll be streaming after that. So like 2 hours, 5, 7 to 11, I'll be streaming, and then go night-night. And then wake up, work, stream again. I'm busy, man. I'm trying to stay busy during this quarantine shit. Because I'm still quarantined. I ain't going outside. A lot of shit's starting to open up. There's no need for me to still be outside. It's raining outside. It's probably going to snow scorpions or some shit later. So I'm just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? Just kicking it. Ricky Simon versus Ray Borg was a stand-up fight fest. I'm liking this, this no crowd in these high-level fights. You could hear everything. The fighters can hear the announcers. They can hear each other's corners. They talk to each other. You can hear them dialogue with each other. These fools are talking back and forth. They were talking about Ray Borg was like, "Come on, kid. Or you call me kid, but I'm older than you." Blah blah type of shit. Ricky Simon, that was a good fight. Ricky Simon won by decision. I got 4 out of the 6 main card fights they had. I missed the OSP fight. OSP by decision was Ben Rothwell by decision, and then obviously Anthony Smith lost to what's the name? Glover Teixeira. But I got all the other fights. I got the Ricky Simon over Ray Borg fight. I got Andre Arlovski versus Philip Lins, which is the fight. Felipe Lins. That's the fight I fell asleep at. It was an accident. Didn't mean to. Michael Johnson versus Thiago Moises. I got that one perfect. Second round finish. Michael Johnson, man, he's I don't know, man. You might have to go somewhere else. Bellator, something like that. I think his time's up in the UFC. I think you might see him when the next wave of fighters that are let go. I think he'll be one of them, man. Kind of in a decline. Hasn't really done anything since. Jesus. I think they said he was the last guy to beat Tony Ferguson. He fought tough guys. Got smoked by Justin Gaethje. Let me take a look here. We'll talk about him real quick. Ciara Eubanks, tough chick. Beat Sarah Moras. Omar Antonio Morales Ferrer, long name. Decision, Gabriel Benitez. Those guys were kicking hard. I wouldn't. Hey, look at me, Poppy. I'm messing on either one of these ones. They would have broke my ribs. I wouldn't. They were kicking each other, body kicking. Gabriel Benitez's leg had it was like this big on his shin. Like imagine that's my shin, and just a cut on his shin, and he fought 3 rounds like that. Because the kicks were getting checked. Dude, it was just bad. I think he knocked out a night went to Brian Kelleher and knocked out Hunter Azure with the left, just a mean left. Mike Tyson left, ducked, bam. Great fights, man. You guys missed out if you didn't watch him. And obviously Chase Sherman with the elbow knockout to Ike Villanueva against the cage. Dude, Chase Sherman's a beast, man. I mess with anybody on this card, even the chicks. Sajara Eubanks. I ain't mess with her, dog. Straight up. Not even Sarah Moras. I ain't fuck with anybody, but it was a great card, man. Try to break down. Now I spent a lot talking about Anthony Smith. Hope he's doing all right. Hope he recovers fine. But something has to happen. Something has to change if he wants to continue fighting at a high level. A camp change has to be made. A lot of fighters leave their families for 8, 12 weeks at a time. It just is what it is, man. Those are the type of sacrifices people make. There's no in between, and I applaud that. I'm glad he wants to be a family man. He needs to be a family man. You can lead by example. There's a lot of guys that do it. A lot of people do it. John Jones. Well, hold on. He ain't leading by example. He didn't leave his. It's a bad example. I apologize. That's a bad example. So like Stipe. Nah, Stipe, because he doesn't leave his house. DC. No, he didn't leave his house too. Who else? Let's start checking the champions here. There's rankings right here. I'm looking at family men. Kamaru Usman. No. Manny Nunez. Weili Zhang. Valentina Shevchenko. She trains. She does training in Denver. Valentina Shevchenko, champ, but she doesn't have a family. Stipe. Amanda Nunez. Amanda Nunez is going to have a family. Now we'll see. Yeah, okay. Bad examples everywhere. Oh, hold on. Volkanovski. No. No flyweight champion. Yeah, bad examples. Okay, I messed up. It happens. It's the best stuff. Whatever. But yeah, great card. If you guys haven't got a chance, go to ESPN Plus. Check it out. See some good knockouts. Pretty entertaining stuff. Especially when there's still not a whole lot of sports on the brink of coming back. I think June is when you can start seeing things in full swing. Soccer. You'll see Bundesliga come back this weekend, which we'll talk about here in a second. Arizona's opening up pro sports, so sports are going to be able to go up and running again, especially in Arizona. Let me see what else. So basketball might be coming back soon. We'll see. People have been starting to train, so individual training, soccer, same thing with MLS. Bundesliga coming back this weekend. English Premier League will be coming back, I think next month. It looks like it. Government voted today, I believe, that they're good to go. So I think they're just trying to figure out the ins and outs and where they're going to have all these matches. Are they going to have it in stadiums? Blah, blah, blah. Who knows what's going to happen? What's still up in the air is, baseball. Because I didn't follow baseball. Baseball is just so crooked, just so stupid. One team I ever follow, and I've talked about this before, my Colorado Rockies. But now they are being stupid too, so I am going to be a San Diego Padre. My second home. If baseball goes up and running. Who knows what's going to happen? There's some sort of collective bargaining agreement. There's some sort of agreement. Owners want to take 50% of this and that, and players want to play a short season, and so there's so many different moving parts to an already boring sport, in my opinion. It's just old school, man. Baseball is just an old school. It's just old school, man. We just can't. They don't want to get with the times. There's no reality checks there with owners, players as well. I mean, just ridiculous space, caps and this and that, and this person cheated doing this and that. It's not for me, man. Will I watch it? Of course. I'll definitely watch some of it. Actually, when I go to games, I probably stay 3 innings and I leave. I get some food, and then because sometimes tickets are just cheap. Get tickets for $5. Sometimes they'll just give them away to you, and you go there. I think the most expensive thing you pay for is parking, and a beer. But that's it's whatever, Especially in the big cities like Denver, where everything's overpriced anyways. But yeah, we're talking about baseball. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, MRAKACO, Sports Plus Life. I did post memes. I post memes, funny memes. I'll steal them. I don't care. I said one meme I posted said, I went and looked back through all my old DMs just to see what missed shot looks like. That's how much I miss the NBA. Something like that. I missed the NBA so much I went back to look out my old DMs just to see what missed shots look like. Those are you could look back. Some of your guys' DMs are just look. I get it, man. I've been there. We have all been there. It's all right. Shit happens. But follow me, MRAKACO, Instagram and Twitter, Sports Plus Life, Instagram and Twitter, and Twitch, MRAKACO, and also on YouTube, Sports Plus Life, where I post baby podcasts, exclusive baby podcasts on exclusively YouTube. And this weekend will be the last 2 episodes, last season finale or last series finale of The Last Dance, Chicago Bulls story. Michael Jordan, all that, Phil Jackson. So check it out. I'll be watching. So tune in, hit the bells, subscribe. That way you know when I post the video, you can check it out. I usually do it right after. Well, I record it right after the show's over, but I posted the next morning because technology. This weekend, UFC Fight Night. Shit, what just happened here? UFC Fight Night, Alistair Overeem versus Walt Harris. Now, I've talked about this main event before. Walt Harris, for those of you who don't know, he's back in November, maybe October, I think November. November, I think, is when they're supposed to fight. This fight will be on ESPN. Walt Harris, they're supposed to fight, had to pull out because his daughter went missing. Stepdaughter, I think their daughter, went missing. So he had to go look for her. I mean, she was missing person. Had other things on his mind, rightfully so. Found out she was slain, dead. It's not slain, dead, but she was murdered. I don't know the details. Might be random act. Not 100% sure. Last time she was seen was some outside of a gas station, and she was found dead. Not too long, like a month later. I can't remember what it was. A very, very unfortunate situation for Walt Harris. The big ticket, and now they've rescheduled the fight to happen this weekend, Saturday, on the 16th, and I think you might see a Walt Harris win. And the reason being, Alistair Overeem has had a lot of losses, bad losses on his record too. He's tried to fight his good fight. He's tried to just be, he's trying to fight as smart as possible. His last fight against Rosenstruck, I think he fought very well, but ended up losing with 4 seconds left in the 5th round. He had won every minute, every second up until that point, and then he got knocked out by Rosenstruck. If you guys remember, had that crazy split down his lip, like just split it open, like it looks like just someone just tore it. It was, you see down like his teeth and his gums. It all was bad. But he beat Alexei Olenek back in August 2019. Before that, beat Pavlovich back in 2018. That was a long time ago. Lost to Curtis Blades, lost to Ngannou, that famous knockout, and beat Verdum decision. This is back 2017. But it has had a big string of bad knockouts too. The knockout against Ngannou stands out. Stipe Miocic and the one against Arlovsky as well. So he's had some pretty bad ones. He's getting there towards the end of his career, I think. And I think Walt Harris has a different motivation. I think Walt Harris might come back and take that win. That's who I got picking that fight. I mean, it's going to be, I don't even want to dwell on that fight because heavyweight fights, you don't know how they're going to go. So you never, as I like to say, hey, Papi, you never know, Papi, okay? You never know, Papi. Angela Hill versus Claudia Gadelha. Angela fights every week in Hill. I've talked about her. She's a lifer on Sports Plus Life podcast. She fights all the time. She's very active. Claudia Gadelha is not as active as Angela Hill. If I'm going to pick a fight here, which they're both very, very good, Claudia Gadelha, very, very good, especially in the stand-up, I'm going to go Angela Hill. More active. Probably has a better rhythm to her. I don't think Claudia Gadelha has that mentally there. She wasn't there mentally there in the last fight. Which was it? I can't remember what it is. We'll just click right here and find out. 1 second. Beautiful Claudia Gadelha. She's very beautiful. I think. Let me take a look. It was at Randa Marcos fight. Very boring. I remember that. Very boring fight. And then lost to Ann Seraph. Which I don't think that was a decision. Was it a split decision? I can't remember. But that was 2018. December 2018. Fought once last year. Angela Hill has fought like once today. That's how crazy she is. Yeah. If I'm going to go off of those two, I'm definitely go Angela Hill. I think Angela Hill is going to be the more active, have more rhythm. It's just me. I'm just one guy who loves to run the Sports Plus Live podcast. That's all I am. Okay, my internet just crapped out. What the hell happened? What is this? Matt Brown is fighting this weekend. Hold on, let me refresh here because I have no idea what's going on here. Dan Ige versus Edson Barbosa. Fireworks. 4th of July, early, before Memorial Day. Fireworks. Just bangers. These guys love to hit each other. These guys love to get hit. They love to fight. You're probably going to see fight of the night right there in that card. In that fight. Eric Anders, heavy-handed versus Christoph Jotko. More bangers. Marlon Chito Vera from Mexico, I think, versus Song Yadong. More bangers. I'm just giving you bangers after bangers. I'm letting you know what fights to watch, what fights not to watch. Matt Brown versus Miguel Baeza. We all know Matt Brown, bangers. Anthony Hernandez versus Kevin Holland. Don't know too much about that fight. Siga Chikazi versus Mike Davis. Don't know too much about those fighters. Courtney Casey versus Mara Romero Barella. Don't know too much of those fighters. Darren Elkins versus Nate Landwehr. Fireworks. Darren Elkins probably had one of the best comebacks you ever seen in your life. And you know he's going to get Team Alpha Male. It's going to come out bangers. Rodrigo Nascimento Ferreira versus Antel Mays. Bangers. A lot of great fights. I just don't want to dwell too much because I don't know a lot about a lot of these fighters, as I should. And I know Thomas the Franchise is going to ask me on the most underrated podcast about this, and I'm going to say, hey, I'm going to go like this, Papi. I don't know. Go watch, Papi. I ain't no promoter, Papi. That's it, man. Big ticket. Big ticket. Big ticket Harris versus Alistair, the Reem, Overeem. Fire, man. Someone's going to get knocked out. And I think it's going to be Overeem. But watch out. Kevin Holland, by the way, toughest dude. I remember Kevin Holland. I've seen him before. The name came to my head just right now when I was looking at him. I'm scared of these guys. All these guys are scary. Matt Brown, still a very violent dude. Who did he knock out? Oh, it was Ben Saunders on his return fight from retirement. Guys just can't stay away, man. That's why people like Anthony Smith are CTE, man. You got to be careful with that shit. Got to be careful. This weekend, guys. Am I missing something? Because I feel like I'm missing something. I was totally unprepared for this today, guys, and I apologize. No, I'm not missing anything because I'm not unprepared. This weekend, Bundesliga returns. And I wanted to talk about a couple things. Let me take a look at the table here on the Bundesliga website. Bayern Munich, 4 points up ahead of Borussia Dortmund, 55-51, in the title race. So remember, top 4 teams go to Champions League, which is which they're trying to accomplish. Right now, French League, I think, is already set. They're already crowned PSG champions. I think they're top 4 already in. Spain is still up in the air. Italy set to return next month as well. Bundesliga starting this weekend. Top 4 right now: Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, RB Leipzig, which is Red Bull's Leipzig, and then Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now those ones are going to be all crazy, like those from 2 all the way down to 5. Like you could see a lot of change in there. Because number 2, number 5 only separated by 4 points. That's a win and a tie. Somebody can lose 2 games in a row. Boom, you're getting leapfrogged. So, and you can never count out, Bayern Munich, who knows how this time off has changed the chemistry, changed their legs. Are they going to be able to come back on top? I mean, these guys are football players, one of the top athletes on this country, on this continent. On any continent is what I meant to say. We're all going to see. Tune in. FS1, Fox Sports. What are? Let me take a look here. Clubs, fixtures right here. I'm trying to see the damn times. Our time. Let me go to Fox Sports. See what the times are for the Bundesliga. I mean, they're early. They're not as early as like the Premier League. Let me take a look here. Where's it at? Are you ready, dude? Schedules. Take a look here. It'll tell us, I think. Postpone. Hey, no. Saturday. So I don't know how they're going to do all this. Are they just going to finish like the games or like what's popping? What the they're not postponed. Oh, here we go. Oh, they're only showing a few games. Oh, wait, here we go. 9:30 Eastern, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. What are these ones? 9:30 a.m. Eastern. They're showing 4 games. FS1, Fox Sports, Fox Sports 2. And then, so it's going to be Borussia Dortmund versus Schalke. Hoffenheim versus Hertha Berlin. FC Augsburg versus Wolfsburg. Eintracht versus Frankfurt. And then Frankfurt versus Magenbach. I don't know when the Bayern Munich is fighting, but I did want to turn your attention to Borussia Dortmund. And the reason why, obviously, they're fighting for that championship. They're in second place, probably going to make Champions League. There's a gentleman on there, a kid by the name of Giovanni Reyna. Giovanni Reyna, remember the last name? Claudio Reyna, former Captain America, captain of the United States soccer team, early 2000s, late 90s. One of the best soccer players you've ever seen. That's his son. And the kid is very good. You got to keep your eye out. Keep your eye out because he's the future of this team. 2022 comes up. We're gonna probably be looking at him, Christian Pulisic, Zach Steffen. Who else? A lot of those guys. Maybe even looking at maybe Josie Altidore. The people would we're gonna look at the kids for our next World Cup to hopefully qualify for our next World Cup. Advance in our next World Cup. So we're gonna be looking at. We're gonna be very young, and you gotta watch this kid. Very, very good, very talented. You also want to look at across the border because there's a kid named Alphonso Davies, Canadian, who just signed a pretty good contract with Borussia or Bayern Munich. So a lot of North America influence in Germany, especially in Germany in general. I think Bobby Wood still plays there. You have John Brooks. A lot of USA contingency in what's his name? The kid with the hair. Don't remember his name. Josh Sargent is what I was looking at. So keep your eye out. A lot of Americans, a lot of good footballers. I'm just excited we're gonna get soccer. I'm just excited we're gonna get football back. Football, high level football too. And that's gonna be this weekend, early in the morning. So I don't know, man. I might have to delay my haircuts. Because I usually I might go tomorrow. We'll see. I might have to go tomorrow and get my haircut. Yep, I might do that. I'm gonna go tomorrow, get my haircut. And then Saturday, watch some football. I'm ready, man. I'm ready. That's it, man. I didn't have a whole lot on the table for you. I definitely wanted to talk about Anthony Smith. Hope he's all right. Took a beating, man. If you guys didn't watch it, that was a beat down. There's probably about 5 times I was like, stop the damn fight. I was like JR. Stop the damn match. By God is my witness, he's broken in half. But it is what it is. Left in his own power. He was beat up. Also, one thing I did want to talk about, I don't know if I talked about you guys. Undertaker documentary. There's gonna be like a 5-part documentary series, 1 hour each. I watched the first one, very, very cool. If you've never seen that side of Undertaker before, go check it out. On WWE Network is where it's at. So go check it out. Becky Lynch, the man, introduced, and some of you guys are gonna be like, the man? Becky Lynch, the man, and now she's pregnant. Relinquished the belt over to Asuka on Monday. It's crazy, man. And she was crying. She was like, "Oh, I can't believe I'm leaving." I don't know if it's happy tears, sad tears. Apparently, she was pregnant during WrestleMania, so it makes her the first pregnant wrestler to ever wrestle a WrestleMania, or in general. I think, I don't know. Who knows? I think probably a WrestleMania. Congratulations, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, engaged to be married, now expecting a child. So congratulations to them. Hopefully everything works out. And that's it for me. I want to appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We are 4 away from episode number 50. So keep your eye out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm keep doing 50, 100, 150, 5,000. We're going to get to 1,000. I need your guys' help. I need you guys to share, like, hit all the bells. Let people know about the podcast. Let people know about me, the streaming, YouTube, the violently sexy Edgar, Mr. A.K. Rodriguez. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know it's a weird show. I was all over the place. I was a little bit unprepared. I apologize. We're going to be better next time. I will see you guys. Follow me on Sports Plus Life, Instagram and Twitter, MRAKACO, Instagram and Twitter, MRAKACO on Twitch, and Sports Plus Life on YouTube. Follow your boy. Holler at your boy. I will catch you guys. Episode number Sports Plus Life, episode number 47. Let.